and happy August! I'm Mari Black, and this month I have for you a super fun Cape Breton reel. This is actually not only a tune by popular request that lots of you asked me to do on Tune of the Month, but it is also the companion tune to the one we did last month. We did the Cape Breton Strathspey Moxham's Castle by Dan R. MacDonald, the great Dan R. And now we are going to do the real Moxham's Castle by the great Dan R. MacDonald. Now, this is not the same melody. This is not the Strathspey melody that just happens to be played as a reel. He wrote two separate tunes that are, distinct and different melodies, but they just happen to go really nicely together. So I think of them as companions. They work great together in a set. A lot of people do this, play Moxham Castle the Strathspey into Moxham Castle the reel. And so I thought we do both, and we'll do them so that you can put them together in a set, and it's just loads of fun. All right, so here we go. This is the real Moxham Castle by Dan R. MacDonald. If you're just listening, then that's the tune. And I'll see you later. And if you're learning, now's a good time to grab your instrument while I remember how to speak the English language, and let's dive right in. Okay, so we're going to do this one very similarly to how we did the Strathspey last month, which is to say it's going to feel like it's going real quick, because I am going to ask you to combine skills that we have worked on in many past tunes of the month. Skills like how to find arpeggios on your instrument. Skills like how to throw in a cut in your bow. We did them in the Strathspey last month, and also in so many past Tune of the Month videos. And I'm going to give you kind of longer phrases to learn, because this is, again, a short tune. It's a single tune, just like the Strathspey last month. And so it's a lot easier, rather than just doing part one and then part two, to do part one and two together. All right, so this may feel like it's going a little faster than how we have learned some things in the past on Tune of the Month, and that's actually a really good thing, because it's good to practice learning things at a little bit of a faster pace, not in tempo, but in terms of the rate that we're going through material, because it gets you more and more ready to be learning tunes by ear on the fly, say in a session or at a workshop at a fiddle camp live, where you can't press the space bar, pause the video, and practice, which you can do now here with me. But I'm going to challenge you to really pick up your ears and pick up your, have some guts and do this on some bigger chunks. All right, here I go. I'm going to play the A section slowly, and I'll take out most ornaments. I'm not going to take out the cuts because they're pretty structural, and you should hear where they are. Ready? 2, 3. And it's that single tune form again, right? So just like last month, the first time through the A section, part one, part two, part one again, ending, the little ending. And then on the repeat, part one, part two, grand ending. Yes, we're very good at this now, Tune of the Month, especially if we hung out last month, which I hope we did. 1, 2, I'll do it again slowly. Part one. Part two. Back to part one. Little ending. Repeat part one. Part two. Grand ending. All right, you following along? You could even say, rewind the video and just play these with me slowly, right? Those are slower tempo run-throughs, and see how much of the tune you can pick out without my even breaking it down yet. That's great practice for learning by ear. I invite you to do that every month. How many times have you taken me up on it? This might be the month. All right, but if it still helps to have the breakdown, of course, that's what I'm here for. I'm going to give you part 1 and 2 together because it's easier. We're in G major. Part 1 is 1 pickup. Part 2. Yeah, let's do it again. My pickup is a step above my G major 3rd there. Good, so part 1 is G major with a cut. Then write down the G major arpeggio. Now there's a cut bowing convention that we've looked at many times on Tune of the Month. I'm going to remind you. When I have my cut, right, it's 3 notes. So I'm backwards bow. I have to slur the very next 2 8th notes to get back bowing, down bow on the downbeat. Really, really important. In Cape Breton reels, real chuggers like this, we're going to do a lot of separate bows, and we really want to make sure we're down bow on the downbeat. So Cape Breton reels also use a lot of cuts. Anytime you cut, the cut goes down bow, you slur the very next 2 things, and it will get you back down bow with the downbeats. It's a convention of bowing. It works every time. Ready? Again, part 1. Cut, G major arpeggio. Here's part 2, up the A minor scale. A minor. Yeah, you got that? This part 2 is real easy. Let's put them together again. Part 1 and 2. G major. A minor. One more time. Parts 1 and 2. Notice when I'm doing this separate bows, I'm right in the middle of the bow, and actually kind of in the lower middle. I'm not out here. This is not a good part of the bow to be in for physics or for the Cape Breton style. We want a much earthier, grittier chugga, chugga, chugga feel for Cape Breton style reels. So being in the middle or the lower half, I wouldn't go to the frog, that's too heavy, but you know, here. One more time, part 1 and 2. Very good. Now we're going to do part 1 and the ending. Part 1's the same. 1 pickup. The ending, the little ending, is broken thirds. Yeah, there are those broken thirds again. They're everywhere, aren't they? They were everywhere in the Strathspey. They're going to be everywhere in this reel. Broken thirds, starting on a C chord. And end on G. Check that little ending one more time. I lied, 1 more. Good, if you want a couple extra reps, hit pause, do them right now. And we're back. Let's do part 1 plus the ending. Ending. Gotta do it again, part 1 plus the ending. We got our whole first time through the A section now. Let's do that. Part 1 plus part 2, then part 1 plus ending. Ready? And part 1. Part 2. Part 1. Little ending. Good. Let's try it again. 2, 3, 1 and 2. One more rep with you. Ready? This is the first time through the A section. Part 1 plus part 2. Hopefully you didn't goof it. Okay, if you want more reps, either rewind and do it with me or press stop, do it with yourself. All right, so now we're on the repeat of the A section. Part 1 plus part 2 is the same as before. Let's do it. Good, now we're ready for the grand ending. Now this is where we get some real signature Dan R. MacDonald stuff. He loves to do little, I call them flippy dippy string crossings, because he bounces back and forth in chords. I'll play the grand ending, you can hear what I'm talking about. Sounds so fancy, doesn't it? We'll do it again. See if you can sound it out. One pickup is the C natural. Okay, so this sounds really fancy, but it's actually not. These are all blocks of chords. It's just he's being clever about the figuration, about how he's playing through the chords. So the first chord is G major. I'll play the one pickup. G major. So that's your G major arpeggio. Find a regular G major arpeggio. Root, third, fifth, third, root. Good. Now he's going to play it out of order. Third, fifth, root, third, third, fifth, root, third. You feel that? I like thinking about the stations of the arpeggio. Root, third, fifth, third, fifth, root, third. Now, next chord, A minor 7. Right? Third, fifth, root, 7th, root, third, fifth, 7th. But notice it's all in the same team of my hand, right? It's all odds team, 1s and 3s, if you're playing fiddle. And now I'm going to do the same thing with a D7 arpeggio, all evens team. Third, fifth, root, 7th, and then end on G. Okay, so the key to this, doing it quickly, is the teams. I'm going to alternate teams. G major is my evens team, open 2 and 4. In this case, just open and 2. A minor is the odds team, 1s and 3s. And then D is open 2 again, right? So I'm alternating. Try it with me. Evens team, G. Odds, A minor. Evens, D major. Odds, end on G. Not so bad at all. Let's try it again. Evens. Odds. Evens. Odds. Again. Now, real important to make this easy, make sure that you're leaving fingers down on the string. Check it out. Here. Do you see how I keep my first finger on both strings? I'm leaving fingers down as much as I can. That makes it a lot easier. One more time, grand ending. Very good. Now that part of the tune, for me, when I'm playing this tune, that part wants practice. The other parts of the A section happen pretty easily. They're just arpeggios, cuts, and scales. Woohoo! That ending is just a little tricksy, so I like to practice just the ending by itself a few times in a row before I do the whole section, right? Because it wants a little more love than the rest of things, right? I like to practice with equity, not equality. I do not spend the same amount of time on every section. I spend more time on the sections that are more interesting, because I don't need as much time on the sections that are more straightforward, right? So this might be a really good time to pause the video and practice that a few times, or rewind and practice it with me. Because you know that now, here I am in the future, in your future, we're gonna put together 2 A sections. Ready? Use the roadmap. Parts 1 and 2. Part 1, little ending. Part 1 and 2. Get ready, grand ending. Here it comes. Ta-da! 2 A's. Well done. Let's do it again, please. Part 1 and 2. Part 1, little ending. Repeat, 1 and 2. Grand ending. One more, 2 A's. that time I wasn't telling you what came next. I was asking you to tell yourself what came next. Isn't it annoying when I do that? I'm asking you to think independently. Gosh. But it makes it so much easier to play the tune, right? When you're thinking ahead to the next part. Okay, so if that was tricky for you to put everything together, no worries. All you need to do is identify which sections felt trickiest. And those are the sections that you want to go back and work with me again. Do some extra reps on those sections. You can either do it with me or you can pause and do it by yourself. I'll help you make sure that you have it right. If you're doing it by yourself, you have to do some extra memory work to make sure that you play it correctly. So it'll feel a little harder to do it by yourself, but you may have to learn it better, right, than unassisted. Your choice, choose your own adventure. But whatever sections fell apart when you put everything all together, it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you or the tune is hard. It just means those sections need a little more love. Go give it to them. All right, so I'm going to do a B section. Same exact way we did the A section, and we're going to pick up the pace a little bit. I will play the whole thing through slowly. Notice the form, please. I think this is one of the cutest B sections out there. All right, good. So we're going to learn it again in bigger chunks. I'm going to give you part 1 and part 2 together. And notice we're in the upper register, the upper octave this time. So find the upper part of your G major arpeggio if you don't already know where it is. 1 pickup. That's part 1 and 2 together. I'll do it again. The pickup is a C natural going to the B. Good, so that part 1 is a G major arpeggio. G major arpeggio. It even says its own name. G major arpeggio. Now A minor and that's part 2. Little A minor landing on D. Let's do it again. Part 1 plus part 2. G major. G minor arpeggio. Now A minor will end on D. I like to make up stupid words. It helps me know what's going on. Do it again. Part 1 plus part 2. Last time. Good. Now I'm going to do part 1 plus ending. 1 pickup. So that ending, that's some flippy dippy string crossings right there. Thanks, Dan R. He did love a double string crossing. He really did. So D major, hop up for your high G, and then end on G in the middle where it's reasonable. It's like a little sprung there. I don't know, I like it. I think it's cute. And it's cute because it's the G, that he's confirming the root, right? Good. Let's put part 1 and the little ending together. Good. Again, part 1 plus little ending. One more time. Good. That's the whole first time through the B section. Part 1 plus 2 with the A minor, and then part 1 plus little ending with the dink, the high G. Let's do it. 2, 3, part 1 plus part 2. Here's part Part 1 plus ending. Here's the ending. Yeah, let's try it again. Part 1 plus 2. Part 1 plus ending. Pretty good. You need some more reps? Just rewind and do it with me, or pause and do it by yourself. Okay, now we're into the repeat. We know we're going to get part 1 plus 2 as before. Let's do it. Now the grand ending. Here it is. Okay, so this is also very clever. It's a little bit of more flippy dippy and it sounds kind of random, but it's not. Listen again, listen for the arpeggios. So I have first G major arpeggio. And that's the root, fifth, and then I go to the third down the scale to the root, root, fifth, down the scale. Try it. Root, fifth, down the scale. That's the first part. Again. Now I'm going to continue. So there's kind of a quasi-broken third happening there. Root, third, down the scale, fifth, broken third. That's the connector. So this is acting like a broken third. It's not a third at first. This is. Let's try it. Almost third. This third. That much? Now we just got to cap it off. That guy, G chord. G chord, broken thirds to N. Do it again, G chord. Right, ascending, broken third, ascending, descending. That's DNR's favorite trick, isn't it? To take broken thirds and do one ascending and then one descending. Let's try the whole grand ending. Not bad. Again, grand ending. Again. Let's take a running start. We're going to do the whole second time through the B section. Part 1 and 2, grand ending. Pretty good. Let's do that again. Whole second time through the B. Part 1 and 2. Grand ending. Pretty good. You want some more reps on that? Rewind and do it with me. Press pause and do it with yourself. And now we're going to do 2 whole B sections. Part 1 and 2. Part 1 little ending. On the repeat, part 1 and 2, grand ending. Standard single tune form. Here we go. Part 1 and 2. Part 2 A minor. Part 1 little ending. Here's the repeat, 1 and 2. Grand ending. Very nice. Let's do it again. 2 B sections. Think that roadmap. I'm not going to call it this time. You keep track. I'll say the first one, part 1 and 2. What's next? Good, what's next? What's next? Very nice, well done, well done. Even if it fell apart, that you kept going, you figured out what's next on the roadmap. What's next, what's next? That's the important part. That probably wants some more reps. Rewind and do it with me, or pause and do it with yourself. Those are your choices. Because now, in your future, we're gonna put together the whole tune. And I'm gonna go a little bit under tempo, right? It's a little bit of a jump to get to the dance tempo that I did at the beginning of the video, although you'll get there pretty quickly. We're gonna do an under tempo twice through the tune. It's so short, it's really easy. 2 A's, 2 B's, 2 A's, 2 B's. All right, follow the roadmap. If you're a string player, get your bow in the middle so you get that chug, chug feel. And if you're not a string player, however you make chug, chug, strong, strong, strongly, that really strong Cape Breton groove, that's what we want. Here we go, A section, part 1 and 2. 1 pickup. Little ending. Good, here's the repeat, 1 and 2. Grand ending. Very good, here's the B section, 1 and 2. One and little ending. Here's the repeat B. Heads up, grand ending. Back to the beginning, you call it. Good, B section. Heads up. There you go, and that's the whole tune. I bet you want more repetitions of that. You know what to do. Rewind. I really hope this is rewind the way you're looking at me on the screen. If not, it looks like I'm going forward. Rewind? You'll figure it out. Okay, you guys, I get so silly on a screen. This is awesome. I hope you have fun with this tune. It's such a great tune, but as you notice, I'm using this tune as an excuse to try and challenge you to learn by ear in bigger chunks, to grab those bigger patterns. The only way to get good at learning by ear is to practice doing this, to push yourself a little beyond your comfort zone of what you're used to hearing and look for those bigger chunks. It's okay if parts fall apart. You just do more reps. That's what the reps are for. But if you're really wanting to move towards learning by ear more fluently, more quickly, picking things up on the fly in a session, this is the gap between the Tune of the Month videos where I show you really kind of note by note and the, well, here's a tune, just play it, right? It's starting to do, rather than just part 1 and part 2, feeling 1 and 2 as a unit. So this way of learning will really, really help you get more and more fluent learning by ear, which is the whole point. Now that said, if it does help you to get sheet music for this and any future Tune of the Month, I do that. It is a special extra bonus for people who are subscribed to my email newsletter. Once a month I send out an email newsletter, a little hello to all my musical friends, and it includes my own personal chicken scratch of the current Tune of the Month. So if you are already subscribed to my email newsletter, you already have Moxham Castle, the real, in your inbox. And if you are finding this in the future and you subscribe, you will get all future Tunes of the Month coming to your inbox as well. And if you missed my personal chicken scratch version of this, because you're in the future, congratulations, making it to the future. This is a very famous reel. You can go look it up on the internet, thesession.org, Traditional Tune Archive. It's in the Dan R. MacDonald books, the Dan R. MacDonald collections, which I highly recommend. So there are lots of places that you can gain access to the dots. But I'm going to challenge you to not look at the dots, to really try to do this by ear, right? Push those skills. I know you can do it. I believe in you. The more you do it, the better it gets. And stay traditional. All right. And on that note, I will leave you for the rest of this month to have fun playing this and any other tunes. And I will look forward to seeing you back here next month for more fun. See you soon, guys.